So cover letters, do they even matter in 2025? And the simple answer is yes, if you're wondering. Now, it's so especially in Canada, where hiring managers still look at cover letters to see if you're serious about the role. So in this video, I'll walk you through exactly how to write a Canadian style cover letter. We'll talk about what to include and what to avoid, and how to tailor your letter to get more interviews. And stay tuned, because I'll also give you a line-by-line breakdown of a real example plus a bonus checklist at the end. Stay tuned. Now, before we go ahead and draft a sample Canadian cover letter, let's start with the basics, because you have to understand the basics. Right now, a Canadian cover letter should be, first of all, short, right? No more than 1 page. And it should also be targeted, that is written for each specific job. Also, it should be professional. It should have a formal tone, shouldn't sound too casual or robotic. Now, for the standard format, you would want to have in your header your name, your address, your phone number, your email, and then the date. And then you leave some space. You'd have the hiring manager's name, the company name, and then the company address. If you don't have the hiring manager's name, the company name and the company address should be okay. Now, like I said, we're going to be drafting one, so let's get right in. We're going to be putting in let's put in my name and then my address. I'm going to put in Toronto. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put in my phone number after the address, right? So my phone number. And then lastly, we're going to put in my email. So let's do that. And then we're also going to put in the date, right? So, all right. Now, let's put some space in there, and then we're going to put in the hiring manager's name. So let's keep that simple. Put John Doe, and then the company name is Systems Solutions Inc. All these are made up, by the way. And then the company address, we're going to do the same thing as above. So let's say 12 Mango Street. They're also in, let's say they're in Oakville, Ontario, and then the postal code is M3Y2K7. All right, there we go. So this is your simple header. Nothing much to do here. Okay, now the next part is you're going to put in the salutation. So for the salutation, use the hiring manager's name if possible. If not, write "Dear hiring team" or "Dear company recruitment." Dear recruitment team. So essentially, your cover letter is going to be in maximum 3 to 4 paragraphs. Okay, so first will be the introduction. That is why you're writing. Okay, that's your introduction. The second paragraph would be why you are a great fit. Okay, the third paragraph would be why you're interested in this particular company. And then number 4 would be the conclusion and the call to action. Okay, and we're going to demonstrate this. All right, now when you're done, at the very end, you can, for your signature, you can put "sincerely" or "best regards," followed by your full name. So let's start with each paragraph. Okay, we're going to be drafting it live. So we put "Dear hiring team," comma, push enter, say "I am writing to express my interest in the customer service specialist position at Systems Solutions Inc. Right? As advertised on Indeed. Okay, so you realize that just with this first sentence, you have stated where you even saw the advertisement. Okay, that is good, right? So let's go on with over 3 years of experience in fast-paced customer-facing roles. I am excited about the opportunity to contribute to your success. All right. So, pardon me, I didn't mention. So, we are creating a cover letter for somebody in, the customer service industry that's applying for a customer service specialist role. Okay. Now, you can see that in this first paragraph, simple, straight to the point, and why this works is because, first of all, it mentions the job title and the company name. Also, it shows your enthusiasm. Okay, so the company needs to see your enthusiasm about joining them. So, I mean, that's pretty clear in this statement. And then it also opens with a clear summary of your value, what you bring into the table. So if you read this, the first paragraph, it tells you that this person has 3 years of experience in a fast-paced customer service-facing roles. Okay, so it highlights your value, what you're bringing to the table. It shows your enthusiasm, and of course, it mentions the job and the company name. Now we're going to move on to paragraph 2. So paragraph 2 is why you are a great fit. Okay, expanding on what you bring to the table. So let's draft paragraph 2. Now, I have a strong background in client communication, conflict resolution, and CRM systems at XYZ Inc., which is like a previous company. I managed a daily caseload of 80 plus customer requests and improved satisfaction scored by 18%. There you go. Right? Within 6 months. I believe this experience aligns closely with the key responsibilities of this role. Okay, so you see that in this paragraph, right, we expanded on why you are a great fit. So we're saying that I have a strong background in client communication, conflict resolution, CRM systems. So your skills and capabilities are being highlighted here, right? And also in your previous roles, you've handled, caseload of 80 plus customers. This is actual data that is quantifying your impact at previous companies or in similar roles. Okay, and Canadian employers love data, so you're showing that your impact that you had could actually be measured. It could be told, right? You improved customer satisfaction scores by 18% within 6 months, and then in summing up why you think you're a great fit, you sum all of that up and say that I believe this experience aligns closely with the key responsibilities of this role. You see, so you'd realize that in this second paragraph, straight to the point, you give real numbers and results, and Canadian employers love that. Okay, so that would be your third paragraph. Okay, now for the third paragraph, so that was the second paragraph. So for the third paragraph, why this company? Why are you choosing this particular company, right? So we're going to write something, we're going to draft it, and then look at why this works. So for the third paragraph, again, put in some space and say, I admire System Solutions Inc. I admire the company's commitment to community-based service and its reputation for innovation in client care. I am drawn to your values and would be proud to contribute to a team that prioritizes people as much as performance. Okay, always make sure that you proofread. So here I'm Mr. Y, so there it is. Okay, now let's examine this paragraph as well. So this part also shows that you did your homework. You did your homework, and companies love that. I cannot stress that enough. They love that you actually did your homework, you researched, you know what the company is about, you know the company's values, and you know you're willing to be part of it, or you have shared values, right? So this also is very straightforward, right? You have done your research. So my advice here is do your research, okay? Companies have different values, and I'm going to be talking about that shortly, okay? So companies have different values. So make sure that you researched that particular company you're applying to, and make sure that they know you've done your homework, okay? And then when you're done with the third paragraph, we move on to the very last paragraph where you close. That will be paragraph 4, where you close with confidence. Now again on paragraph 3, okay? Make sure, again, let me stress that, make sure that you do your research about the company you're applying to. It could be a very, very basic research just to know more about the company, their values, what they hold dear, and a little bit more about them. It really helps in writing your cover letter. Okay, now let's move on to paragraph 4, and we're almost done with our cover letter. Okay. Now with paragraph 4, say something like, I would welcome the opportunity to further discuss how I can contribute to system solutions Inc. company goals. All right, thank you for considering my application. I have attached my resume and look forward to speaking with you. Okay, so that's it. I mean, paragraph 4, simple. You end with some confidence. All right, you thank them for considering your application. You show that you've attached a resume, and then you're hoping to speak with them soon. And then in signing off, like we said from the beginning, you can say sincerely or best regards, and then that's it. So let's sign off. You say best regards, and then make sure you always put in your full name, right? So I'm gonna go RQX. Now, if the company requires that you have this printed, I doubt it, because most companies will take the electronic version. So you don't have to print this and put in your signature or sign it or stuff like that. But if you have an electronic signature, you want to put that in before the name, go ahead. It doesn't really change much, but you sign off like this and you are good. Now let's talk about some cover letter mistakes, because we have to talk about what not to do. These mistakes are very easy to make, but can cost you the interview. Now, first mistake is that many cover letters are too generic. Okay, if your letter could be sent to any job, then it's too vague. Okay, so if you're saying I'm applying for a job in your esteemed company, applying for a job, what job, in what company? Okay, so I know many people, I mean, writing a cover letter is kind of tiring for many people, and I understand. But if you're sending generic cover letters with statements like I'm applying for a job in your company, yeah, chances are they're going to flag this as generic and they're not going to respond. Okay, so that's the first mistake. Now, second is most people just repeat their resume in the cover letter. That is wrong as well. Okay, so your cover letter should add some context, not just what is already listed on your resume. So you realize that in our cover letter, we added some context. Show that we researched the company. You know, that helps rather than just listing everything that's on your resume. that doesn't really add much. It doesn't really help you, okay? Now, the third mistake is using the same cover letter for every job. Now, make sure that you don't do that. Always tweak the intro and the company specific parts, okay? Because you can be applying for a customer specialist role like we just drafted. You can be applying for that in many like you can send applications to many companies, okay? And that's okay, but make sure that you are always editing, you're always tweaking the intro, okay? So when you go to our intro, make sure you make those changes there when you mention the company name and the specific job title, because even if the roles are similar, it's very likely that the titles are going to be different. So one could be a customer service specialist, one could be a customer service manager, customer service something, right? So make sure that you always tweak it. Now, also, when it comes to the company values, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, companies have different values, okay? So if you're talking about a company that is, innovative and puts people first and all of that, and the other company do not really have that listed as part of their values, then they would flag this as, oh, they've probably sent this to another company and forgot to edit it. That's a big red flag. It's going to cost you the interview. You're not going to hear back from them. So make sure that you're always making this specific, you're tailoring it, you're tweaking it to apply for a specific job for a specific company. So you wouldn't have to tweak much, right? The introduction, the company specific parts, and then that should be fine if you're applying for the same or similar roles, right? Now, the mistake number 4 is typos or wrong names. Now, spelling the company name wrong or forgetting to change the job title, easy rejection. You're going to be rejected, okay? You're going to be rejected. Now, if you forget to change the company name and you're applying to ABC company, but you send a cover letter that has XYZ or system solutions like we just drafted, well, yeah, you're going to get rejected, okay? Or you actually managed to change the company name, but you forgot to put in the specific job title, okay? Like I just mentioned, customer service specialist or customer service officer, something of that sort, right? Make sure that you have the same thing. If you send a customer service specialist cover letter to a customer service officer job application, you're going to get rejected. They know you sent somewhere else and just forgot to do your due diligence in paying attention to detail. And that even speaks badly about you, because it shows that you did not you're not paying attention to detail, or you're not someone who pays attention to detail, okay? Now, mistake number 5 that many people make is either they sound too arrogant or too humble in their cover letters. Now, here's what I mean. Now, don't write, I'm the perfect candidate. I doubt anybody would write that. But if you do write something like that, it would sound very, very arrogant. But also don't say, oh, I don't have any experience, but I'll try hard. No. So instead, show what you bring, okay? Like I always say, do not sell yourself short. Highlight your strengths and show that you are willing to learn and you are growing. It's better than, selling yourself short or being too arrogant. That's not going to work well for you. Now, in this section, let me talk to my outland applicants, people that are applying from Nigeria, India, Ghana, Kenya, Philippines, or elsewhere. My subscribers, thank you very much. Now, let me say this, that yes, you can and you should still write a cover letter, okay? It helps you to stand out. Now, here's why. Because when you write a cover letter, first of all, it makes, like I said from the beginning, it makes the employer understand that you are serious about the role. And here's what you can do to even stand out more. You can also make sure that you address your location transparently, okay? So if you're applying from outside Canada, address your location transparently. Show that you also understand the Canadian workplace culture, okay? Make sure that you show that you understand the Canadian workplace culture, right? Number 3, emphasize your transferable skills. Make sure that you emphasize your skills that you have that are transferable to the Canadian workplace culture. Now also mention that you are authorized to work. That is, if you are authorized to work. If you already have a work permit or a PR, right? If not, you can say something along the lines of, I am willing to relocate and can assist with necessary documentation. Because I know it's difficult for people outside Canada to get jobs in Canada, but I'm using the word difficult. It's not impossible. So there are people that are still getting those jobs. Okay, so make sure that you take these tips. And also a bonus tip would be that Canadian employers appreciate professionalism. So if your tone is clear, your grammar is clean, okay, and your letter is targeted, you're going to shine. Okay, make sure your grammar is clean, right? That even shows you can integrate seamlessly into the Canadian system, where English or French are the two prominent languages here. Now, here is a simple checklist to run through before you hit send after you drafted your cover letter, okay? First question, is it under one page? If not, look at it again. You're probably putting on way too much. Is it under one page, right? Is the company and job title correct? Checklist number 2. Number 3, have you customized it for this job, this particular job? Number 4, did you mention something specific about the company? If you didn't, you better do, okay? Number 5, are there no typos? Okay, make sure you've proofread your cover letter. Number 6, did you show confidence without arrogance? Okay, those are two different things. And lastly, did you end with a clear call to action? Okay, now a pro tip that I can give you here is that you can run your letter through many of the applications that will help you proofread your cover letter. There's Grammarly. I think even Microsoft Word these days has a proofreading system that is quite good, especially if you use Microsoft 365 that connects to the internet, is able to do a bit of very good proofreading for you. You can set the tone for the document as well, because one spelling mistake can ruin your first impression, okay? With just one spelling mistake. So make sure you have everything on point. Now, that's how you write a Canadian cover letter that actually gets attention in 2025. Remember, this is your first conversation, your first impression, your first conversation with the employer. So show up with clarity, confidence, and a little bit of personality. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to review your cover letter. I'll be happy to do that. Also, please let me know in the comment section what topics you guys would like me to cover on this channel, so I keep it targeted. I want to make content that I know you guys are interested in watching. So to all my subscribers, thank you so much for the love. Let me know in the comment section if you have any topics that you'd like me to address, and then I'm going to take my time to go through those as well to keep it targeted for you. So don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend that is job hunting, and subscribe for more content on how to land a job, build your career, and thrive in Canada. I'll see you in the next one.